welcome to episode 4
Episode 4
of Chippy Tee. Episode 4. So, 4. I've not been in Yorkshire today, can you tell? 4.
You've been international.
Episode 4. Yeah. So, here we go again with just another irreverent chat about the week's previous goings on to see exactly what we can take the piss out of this week and whether we've actually had a good week for a change, because we seem to keep having a bit crap weeks, don't we? So it's time we had some good ones, Danny.
Aye. Well, I've had a... It'd be a stretch to say it's been super positive. But I'll give you the positives.
We're going to start with that absolute positive highlight of your week. What's made you smile? You went home and thought, you know what, I'm really glad I chose to be a printer all them years ago.
Well, just done a job today. 6 colours. It's like a little camper van on an army green t-shirt. It's just one of those jobs where you think, you know what, I really enjoy printing that. It wasn't a massive order. It was about 100 t-shirts or something like that. Just a day job. And I'm just really, really happy with results. Being my own harshest critic, it's not very often that I can actually admit that I'm pleased with something. So yeah, that was a good print.
No, but it's nice when it happens, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's always something, isn't there? There's always something you've got to criticise in your own little way.
When you start looking at things with a printer's eye instead of sort of like a customer's eye or somebody else, a normal person's eye, then, you know, you start to look at all the little faults. Is it really out of reg? Could it be crisper? Could that be nicer? Should I have more ink there? Should I have less ink there? It's a curse.
There's always room for improvement, and I think the day you stop looking for improvements, probably time to back it in, because you always need to keep striving, don't you? Because the industry will leave you behind if you don't keep up.
Absolutely. There is a phrase which I use quite often, and I hate the phrase, but I know in the context I use it, it's okay, and it's commercially acceptable. Commercially acceptable is almost if you use it wrong, it's a free ticket to send out shit.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it right, you end up trying to aim for perfection for hours on end, when really 3 hours ago it would have been fine.
Yeah, you have to draw a line. It's okay being your own harshest critic. You've got to be a perfectionist, but you also at some point have to just admit that these shirts are good enough.
Yeah, good enough.
Screen printers just see shit that nobody else does, and that's all it comes down to. Anybody else would be like, and the thing is, you could probably make those changes, and most people won't even notice the difference anyway. It's only us that see it. So
yeah, would it have been worth the time invested in it? Yeah, this is the key. Yeah.
Got to get the orders out the door. How about you? What was your highlight of the week? It feels like we've not spoken in ages. It feels a bit longer than a week, but
there is no way you're ready for my week.
Oh,
absolutely no way. I we spoke last week. I had a mare, didn't I? And I got defeated by that 8-colour job.
Yeah.
Well, I sort of dropped onto it again.
Oh no.
But this has got an extra kick in the tail. So I'm going to say it's the best and the worst, both rolled into one. So we'll set the scene. I'm over in the Netherlands doing a job for a printer who is very high quality based.
Yeah.
Absolute retail. 100% water based. So, you know, it's not the easiest thing in the world.
No.
And as usual, they know I'm coming, so they leave the shitty job for me. So I've got a 7-colour job, and there's nothing really complicated about this job at all. On paper, it's straightforward.
Yeah,
we do the whole training exercise. We do all the setting up, the colour order, mix the Pantones, everything going really well. Now the job is split between 100 white tees and 60 blue sweats, all Stanley Stella. So all really good quality.
Yeah.
Print the white t-shirts, get it running, get it warm, runs a dream. No problems with it whatsoever. And I'm sort of like feeling a little bit, see, I know what I'm doing. See, I'm not that shit. That job last week didn't define me. And we run onto the blue sweatshirt. So the customer's sort of like, you know, it's got some really experienced staff who are all away with COVID this week.
Oh God, typical.
So there's just me and him in the shop.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So we're going to run onto the sweatshirts, Tony. What do we need to do that's different between the tees and the sweats? Now, I'll throw that open to pause it right there. What do you do? when you go from a t-shirt to a sweat?
Not an awful lot. You might want to adjust your off contact. To be honest, if I've registered a shirt job and somebody's chucked some sweatshirts in, I'm gonna hope it just prints without messing about too much. To be totally honest,
You're gonna pray to the squeegee gods. Yeah. So we've got off contacts. We've got a little bit more ink. I've got the opportunity to hit a double stroke. I've done all the T's on a single stroke. So I set it all up. Get the off contact as high as it'll go. Get it peeling lovely. Get it printing lovely, and it looked absolutely horrendous. First one off was, I'm like, oh shit, I've just ruined one of his, really nice, expensive blue sweats. So it just must have been unlucky. Did another sample print, still looked crap. Oh, I'm not having that. So I said, right, we're ready. It's because we're stopping and starting.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. You stop and start with water-based, it's not great.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Throws it down. I love that sound.
Look, you hear seagulls.
So, yeah. So I throw it into press, and I say, right, we're just going to go for this. I'll accept, one or two at first bad ones, but we need to get it running.
Yeah. Got to get that ink through mesh, haven't you?
20 really expensive shirts later, and we're stood there scratching his head going, what's going on? I don't know. It's just printed lovely, and now it's not printing lovely. And it's not right. It's not. It shouldn't happen like this. This is not normal. And after some more soul searching, his lovely partner comes along and says, "Can we do this DTF now?"
Oh,
come on! To me, that's like, no.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Well, it's obviously not working. Well, it will. Give me time. I'll get it done. Don't worry about it. But the event's tomorrow. We've got no more stock, and I can do it in DTF. And here's the moral dilemma: do I admit defeat and do it in DTF, or do I keep ploughing on and hopefully getting something close? So I said, show me one in DTF. She showed me one in DTF. It was awesome. I mean, awesome. It blew me away.
Right.
I'm like, that's better than anything I could have printed on this material. It looks awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
With the tones and the sharpness of the edges and everything. And he said, right, so that's it then. We'll do it DTF. And I'm like, part of me just died inside.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, I honestly think that I've learnt a massive lesson from that, in that this DTF digital technology that I see as a bit of an enemy,
yeah,
dragged me out of a 2-foot shitty deep hole.
Yeah, definitely.
And the result was awesome. And so now go ask the customer if he gives a toss, if he even cares, if he can tell. And the answer is no. So I'm sort of like, the good and the bad from this week. The bad, failed another job.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, this is where I announce my retirement from the consultation game. You heard it here first on Chippy Tee podcast. I officially retire from this consulting shit. No, you have to have been beat twice. God, no. Those printers were much more stubborn than that, aren't we?
Well, it's easy to say that. I think if you've got unlimited time and zero pressure, crack on. I'd love to get a job where there's no deadline.
Like you.
No. If I could take my time on every job I get in the shop and just get it absolutely perfection, I'd love it. But you can't. It's just not realistic. You've got turnaround times and you've got the pressure of getting them out to the customer for the event or whatever. So I guess what you're saying is the tool, the DTF, it's just another tool in the box, isn't it? Just like DTG.
It complements. It definitely complements.
Yeah, we give. Well, I gave DTG a grilling last week, but in all honesty, it's just another tool in the box, and it serves a purpose. If you want to blast out samples, one-offs, or whatever.
Are you stuck in a 2-foot shitty hole and you want to get out of it?
Yeah.
Then it got me out. It's still printing. It's still decorating. There's still a skill to it. It's not just pressing a button. But yeah, I was impressed.
The big question is washability. DTF, how does it wash? That's a question. I guess it washes almost as good as real screen print.
Yeah, got it to about the same as screen print.
Yeah.
It all depends on the settings that you use.
Right.
You know, if you pick someone that's done the profile and done the research,
Yeah.
then actually it does well.
Yeah.
And I dropped into while I was there, the technician who services these machines, the DTF ones, he was there, and I know him because I've known him from before. And I said, "Oh, come on, be honest with me. You know, what are they like?" He went, "Well, I've got 180 of them out there."
Yeah.
But you've got what? He's got 180 of them just in Netherlands alone. Jesus. Then, you know, I'm going to have to sit and reevaluate this and have a think about it.
I've never seen it in the flesh. I've never seen like a printed DTF. There's a guy around the corner from me who's got one because he came in to tell me. He said if he ever had any work, to pass forward to him. And my initial reaction,
what's he got though?
I don't know.
A roll one or a sheet one?
I couldn't tell you. My initial reaction is, that'll be garbage. It'll be shite. So, but
like mine, yeah.
Maybe when I see one in flesh, I'll change my mind. Maybe down the line it'll get me out of a sticky situation because he's offered his service to me, and if I'm ever stuck, maybe I'll have to get in touch. But interesting.
Yeah, well, don't ask me for Christ's sake.
No,
I'm officially retired now. you miss your boat there.
we've
I'm going to come and work. Sit on NDR Drive when you get an auto. That's what I'm going to do.
I keep dreaming about it. It'll come. It was the Netherlands you've been in it, you said? Holland?
Yeah.
Nice place.
Well, Holland's not the right description for it.
All right.
Because the whole thing's called, and I'm only just learnt this by doing it wrong, the whole thing's called the Netherlands, and there's a South Holland and a North Holland. Holland's a region of the Netherlands.
Ah, I see.
But yeah, if you're as old as me, we call it Holland.
Yeah. Not quite, but... Yeah, it looks like a super nice place anyway, so it can't be too bad. And then you've been back in Manchester today, did you say?
Oh yeah, I've been in Manchester today, yeah. Which is a bit of a contrast, but actually surprisingly not too warm either. So not too bad at all. I did do a bit of shopping, sort of at the weekend last weekend.
You've not been in dodgy warehouses, have you? A couple of cheap Gucci bags. I've heard about them in Manchester.
Cheetham Hill, I think it was called.
Right.
Cheetham Hill. It was around that area, yeah.
Right.
They're a bit dodgy.
Aye.
No, this was sort of a couple of days ago. Found myself in a really posh department store.
Right.
Which I'm not going to name because they're so posh that we could have, all sorts of
bit of bother.
lawsuits on his hand. And as you do, I'm in a clothing store. What do we do first? We go and have a look at the printed shit, don't we?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm all over it, I'm looking at this print and it's a single black print onto a white T-shirt of a branded name.
Right.
And so I'm curious now. I'm looking first for the Gildan label that's been ripped out of it. Couldn't find it. So hats off to them. It looks like they've actually got a bespoke shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with it now. Looked at the print quality. It's more like Blackpool quality. You know what I mean? It's not quite as bad as Scarborough, but it's definitely sort of Blackpool area.
Yeah.
Not the best. Shiny print. A little bit fluffy. Not the best print I've seen, but commercially acceptable. So then I go for the price tag and have a look at the price tag. So, single colour, black T-shirt, black print on a white T-shirt. A brand that I'm sure everybody else has heard of, but I hadn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm like Primark brand me now.
I won't have heard of it.
Straight 200 quid.
No way. 200 quid for a T-shirt?
200 quid for a T-shirt printed with a single black colour on a white shirt.
Hell, Christ.
And I was absolutely distraught on two accounts. First, I'm absolutely furious that somebody is charging that much for what is very little work. I don't care how high your quality is, it's still very little work. Even if you put 2 screens on the bleeding thing,
Yeah.
it's still not that horrendously high quality work.
No.
And then the other part of me that's furious is, why didn't I think of that?
Oh no.
I want to be. Why can't I not get palm print on a T-shirt somewhere and sell it for 200 quid? Who's going to buy it?
It's crazy, isn't it? I've had this thought myself. It's funny.
Would you pay 200 quid?
Oh, what a shite. Fucking hell. For a T-shirt? Good God.
I know, yeah.
It'd have to be made of solid gold or something, maybe, but it's crazy.
People are.
We did a little nosy today. Somebody placed an order with us, and we looked at the value of the invoice that we charged them, and when we looked at what they are charging retail, and we calculated it, and my head just dropped. I was like, the work I put into it, and then I look at the money we make out of it, and then the money that they're making at the end of the line, and it got me thinking again. I've had this thought many times. I really ought to have some retail, some sort of clothing brand, something just to run alongside Flipping Sweet. So when we have a bit of quiet time, it's alright, we'll just print some branded shit. Make some proper money out of it.
I've seen people do this.
I feel it's quite common.
Although I'm a massive advocate of it, because the golden rule is, as you as a printer, your golden rule is to get as close to the end user as humanly possible, because that's where the money is.
Yep.
So whatever you do, you need to get to the end user, the guy who has the shirt last.
Yeah.
When you're going to guys in the middle, when you're doing the stuff that's getting sold on by someone else, you're never ever going to get the lion's share.
No, of course not.
But with it comes the risk of the overstocking and the understocking and the customer complaints and all that crap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. I've seen a few sort of printers invent their own brand.
Yeah.
Now that's not something I'm familiar with, other than in the 30 odd years I've been doing this, I have witnessed the next best thing at least 30 times. Guy that knocks on your door and says, "Oh, I've got these designs. They're going to be awesome. I'm going to be the next best thing. I'm going to be the next Nike. I'm going to be the next Reebok. I'm going to be the next Sergio Tacchini."
Oh, right. Well, he emails us every week, so.
Well, yeah. Well, it lives in Driffield, though, doesn't it?
Right. Do you know what it is as well? Best part about that is they tell you the plans and they want a quote for big numbers.
They want you to do the sample.
And then they want you to do a sample of free for now.
Do me this free sample because there's 300 million at back of it.
Exactly, yeah. Just do us one for us,
so
mate.
We've all
seen
order
3,000 next time. Aye, of course you are.
The one that stuck in my head was a guy who came up with the design, and he called it Hoi Polloi.
Hoi
And I thought, it sounds all right. That sounds all right. You might make it this.
Mm.
And I looked at what Hoi Polloi was, and it was basically riff raff.
All right.
Yeah, I think you need to rethink this a little bit more now. Yeah, but if you just do us in red, then do us in gold, and then if you just do it as in silver, and can you do that foiling thing? And this one we want high build, and can you do a puff on this? And you're like, no.
No.
So, although I agree with you, get as close to the end user as possible is my advice. We've still got to be aware of, it's no good just coming up with a design. Somebody's got to want to buy it.
Oh, I know.
You can't just keep selling it. Somebody's got to want to buy it.
No, it's just something I've thought about. I thought about this for about 10 years, to be honest. My issue with it is I can never come up with a niche that I can be passionate about, and if I'm going to do it, it's got to be something that I am passionate about. I can't just tag on back of a trend or whatever.
No,
it's got to be something.
You fail. No, but you are quite passionate about a few things, though, aren't you? In your shop, I think there are a few things there that you could maybe look at. And I've seen a few people take that little bit of passion and just absolutely run with it. And
yeah,
I suppose it's like being a talented singer. You can be as talented as you want, but if you're not in the right place at the right time, you don't need to have that little bit of luck. It's not going to work.
Yeah, we have customers who email us. You look at the emails, you look at what they want quoting, and it's a new brand, and you think this is going nowhere. You try your best to help them. You do everything you can for them. You send them printed stuff. You think going absolutely nowhere. We never hear from them again, and they end up ordering tons. And then the ones that come through email, and you're like, "This is mint. I can't wait. This is gonna take off. It looks awesome." And then you never hear back. Sometimes you just can't predict it. And I guess that comes down to, like you've just said,
I wish I could.
right place, right time. And if we could predict it, we'd be bleeding loaded, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we won't be doing this, would we?
No.
No. I've seen. What was the last one I saw take off that I had no idea why it took off? And I don't know whether it was just local to where I live or whether it went any bigger.
Yeah.
But I know they sort of opened a shop in town centre, which is, that's like the... oh, they're doing well for themselves,
Yeah.
What do you mean? Well, they've opened a shop in Ridings there. It must be good if they've opened a shop in Ridings. And it was... What was it? T-Boy.
T-Boy. T-double-E.
T-double-E, of course, yeah, T-double-E. And I'm like, wow, that's such a simple design. Why is it popular? And it did become popular. I think it became popular. I'm going to sound as old as fuck. It became popular with kids.
With young'uns.
With young'uns. I'm going to say with young'uns, and I didn't. I'll be soft back. Apparently, some famous rapper, which I'm not even going to embarrass myself by pretending I know the name of, had been sent one for free, and he wore it, was photographed in it, and that was it. It went boom.
Yeah, this is what happens a lot.
Well, I've got to be honest with you, I still to this day don't know whether that's an urban myth or not.
Well,
but I'm willing to accept it because it sounds believable. In that, somebody sent them a free white print on a burgundy T-shirt, which within 2 days went a lighter shade of burgundy, and it was a success, a booming success. But then again, ask me if the shop's still in Riding, flash in the pan.
A flashing pan. I said this happens a lot. What I really meant is, it's a tactic that's used a lot, not necessarily successfully, but it is a bit of a. I've had a few. I've printed for quite a few brands and what have you that have basically just give most of the stuff away to celebrities or whatever, and whatever niche they're in, just to try and get them to wear it in public and hope it takes off. It's a tactic. It's a tactic that maybe it's probably been overused and it's oversaturated. I mean, they'll be getting free stuff left, right, and centre over now. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I have a sort of a theory. It's like the junk mail that you get through your letterbox, or I'm going to say old fax machines, but the junk mail, the flyers that you get through your letterbox.
Yeah.
And straight away you pick them up, you don't look at them, you put them straight in the recycling bin.
Yeah.
And you say to yourself, why do they still do this? Why do people still do this? Why do they still spend the money on printing flyers, paying somebody to walk around the estate, stucking them through letterbox? Why does people do it? And the answer's really simple. It's because it works.
It's a numbers game. That's all it is.
It works.
Yeah.
It has to work. If it didn't work, they wouldn't do it. So it's the same with sending stuff to celebrities or whichever route you go down. If it didn't work, nobody would do it.
Oh yeah. Well, law of averages says if you send enough free shit out, some of it's going to stick. So it's the same with flyers. If you get enough flyers out, you're going to get a bit back.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But we get pushy salesmen all the fucking time, and they try to offer us two things. They try to offer us flyer marketing, where they print us a lot of flyers and then we go drop them off round town.
Yeah, but are you cynical? Are you cynical like me? You believe that you pay for them to be delivered, and some little screw-up from secondary school
Lots of in a bush. Yeah, probably do.
Yeah.
I've seen the people who deliver them as well, so they don't fill me with hope. And if it's not flyer marketing, it's radio. I can't for 1 second think anybody hearing Flipping Sweet on a radio advert is going to think.
You've got a face for it.
Yeah, I've definitely got face for radio. I've not got a voice for radio, have I? I can't win me. Not got a face for radio or a voice.
They'll know it's you. What?
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
Recognisable. Yeah, so marketing. It's a money pit, isn't it?
Do you do any? What do you do? Do you spend any money on the socials, sort of like promoting Instagram posts or promoting Facebook posts or something like that?
I've very recently done a tiny little bit. I'm talking about a few hundred quid.
You see, we're from Yorkshire. I'm like, you've spent money on that. The very heart of me just rocked. I'm like, what? You spent money on that shit? Really?
Do you know? It works. It's doable. It's just really hard, and you can put you can put thousands into it and get nothing back in return. But you almost have to spend them if we're talking about like Facebook ads or Google or Instagram or whatever.
It's all foreign to me. It's all asking for money that I can't see, so I don't do it.
Yeah, you know what? Loads. I've spoken to a few printers, and very few do it. Or if they do, they just dabble here and there. And I only think the reason for that is it's just so hard. It's just so competitive as well. I had a little advert running a few weeks ago, and I was sort of like testing waters with it, and we got quite a few leads out of it, but not one of those leads converted to a sale. So in my head, this is something to revisit sometime in the near future, because it's half working. But what I need to do is find a way.
You have to do your own work, don't you? You have to educate yourself on exactly how it works.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying about it being a money pit. You sort of have to spend the money to fine tune it to where it actually gives you a return on your investment. If I hadn't spent a few hundred quid, I wouldn't have the keywords. I wouldn't have the way I've laid out the advert. I wouldn't know. I went in blind.
You have to pay to know what doesn't work. You have to pay to know what doesn't work. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, in a way, sort of. I mean, you can have a blind guess. You can do as much reading and research as you can, which is what I did. I did plenty of research. Read a fair few books about it. Went in there with a rough idea that this might work, and then fine tuned it as I went along, and got something that was bringing in leads. So basically the advert was an Instagram advert. It was a video that we'd had made, and something slightly unique. When you clicked on the button, so you see the video and beneath it would be a button, like a call to action button. Sometimes you have like contact us or get a quote or whatever. Ours was, are you interested? And when you click on are you interested, there's a little form that pops up, and you basically just leave your contact details. So from that point, we would get an email that said, this person has left the contact details, and then it was up to us to email them and say, thanks for showing some interest. Here's our price guides. Here's a little bit of what we do. Here's some of the garments that we can get. If it's something you're interested in, have you got any artwork available? Let us know and we can quote it up for you. That's the hard bit. That's the bit where we were falling on his face. Getting the leads a piece of piss, but converting those leads into actual sales was 100% unsuccessful. I think what was happening were a lot of the leads were just generally been nosy. Maybe one day they might want t-shirts, maybe down the line, but I think it was just a little bit like nosiness or whatever. I hope.
Were people actually putting the details in?
Yeah. We got quite a few. Yeah. So it worked halfway. I think the fine tuning is getting the right people to put the details in, and a little bit that's just in the wording of the advert, just the wording of the advert, using the right images, etc. There's only so much you can do with that, really, and I guess targeting it to, your keywords that.
There's no point advertising to a certain group of people, is there? You know what I mean? There's no point targeting the knitting nanas from old folks home down the road. No, because they're not interested in you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can sort of understand it.
Yeah, it's something that.
But again, it's spending money on something that I can't see, so I tend not to do it.
No, I guess the only other marketing I do is obviously social media. Which is free, and then word of mouth, and then just the website. The website pulls in a certain amount of traffic organically, without really having to try. And
so I haven't primed you for this at all, so this is a really cruel question. But which one out of those do you think is the most successful for you?
That's an hard question to answer.
I know, yeah, it's a nasty one, and it coming out of left. But you know what we do? We go down these roads. This wasn't on the plan, were it? This is not in the script.
No, we do it all off cuff. It's raw. I keep telling you.
Raw.
I I don't know. We get plenty of word of mouth.
Yeah, because I would have said the most successful and certainly the most viable, I would have said would have been word of mouth. Do a good job for someone, and he goes and tells 6 people,
Yeah.
of which one of those comes to you, who then goes and tells 6 people to you. That sort of, I would have thought that would have been the most successful. And you didn't spend any money.
No.
Because you're only doing what you would normally do anyway.
Yeah.
And Facebook advertising, I ain't got a clue. I really, it's completely. I don't have a product I can sell like that, so I've taken no interest in it.
Yeah, I just always feel like. Can you hear a load of music?
I can hear something in the background. Yeah, I thought you stood in the
There's
cat.
a flipping accordion outside my fucking shop. Give me 2. I'm going to shut my window. I'll edit this bit out, don't worry. I'm going to shut my window. I'll be 2 seconds. No one will know.
So now that you've shut your window, you've got about 6 minutes before you pass out from the heat.
I know. I've already got sweat dripping now. Just some bloke walking by with a bleeding accordion. Jeez. Welcome to Britain.
An accordion? Have you moved centuries?
I don't know. Well, we get a lot of buskers on streets, and you hear bagpipes and accordions and all sorts of stuff like that. So
Are you close to the front? Are you close to the front where you are?
my shop's smack bang in the middle of town, so just round corners. So that's where buskers hang about. What was we saying? We were saying something about
Facebook advertising, marketing.
I went to touch on word of mouth. You can, I mean, obviously you said it's free, which of course it's free, but you can spend a little bit of money on marketing material that you put in with your parcels, which your customer can pass on to their, people they think might be interested, and just entice them with a little bit of an offer. Pass it on to a friend, 10% off your next order or whatever. That's something I've tried in the past.
Referrals, yeah.
Referrals, that's something I've tried in the past, which is really successful. I found that used to work real well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Facebook, Instagram, it's just a money pit. I keep trying though.
It isn't. You can just keep going forever. I've had a look at Instagram advertising, and I thought, do you know what? Knowing me, I'd do my brains in on the wrong kind of image with the wrong kind of music, with the wrong kind of text, and it'd just fall flat on its face, and then I'll just randomly post a picture of me left toe.
I wonder where you're going here.
And it gets 970,000 views, and you're like, well, hang on, I can't work this out. I don't know. I've absolutely no idea how this works. I just recently hit 10,000 followers on Instagram.
No, you're not doing bad at all. 10k.
Go me. I know, yeah. Woo! I thought I'd do a little fireworks and confetti and stuff when I got home, but no, nothing. Just straightforward. Thank you very much. Would you like to buy some advertising?
Yeah.
Now that you're popular, we want to sell you stuff.
Yeah.
When you weren't popular, we weren't interested in you.
Yeah. I think it's like a magic number. You get to 10k and then all of a sudden everybody slides in your DMs.
Oh God, no! Don't say that. It's bad enough as it is. Yeah. Digitisers.
Digitisers.
Heat lamps. Oh,
that's a new one.
Reason,
we've just got that one as well.
For some reason, Nancy, who's the least looking Nancy you've ever seen.
She's alright, isn't she?
Who's she is.
I've seen Nancy. She's alright.
She's selling me. She's selling me heat lamps. Apparently.
Yeah.
I'm like, I buy 3 every 6 years. You still want me as a customer?
Bloody hell. Have you ever seen, you'll have seen this, you must have done, I think every screen printer on the planet's seen this, the email that's been going around it must have been going around forever, and it's something along the lines of, I need 10,000 shirts, no printing, all plain, a certain brand beginning with G.
Yeah.
G. I'm editing that out as well. I can spell. A certain brand beginning with G. And then they say, just give us your bank details, we're going to transfer you money. And they don't want any printing.
It's the Nigerian prince, isn't it, really? It's the same as the Nigerian prince who says, look, he's got $2 million and all you have to do is put it into your account and hold it for a bit and then you can bring it back out again.
I promise.
Yeah, it's the same email. No, we don't fall for them. They go straight in the bin.
I had to train Jasmine to notice those.
Yeah. Yeah, delete. Right, so seems as though we love to just go off on tangents like we do.
What was we talking about originally?
I don't fucking know. Does it matter? We just keep picking it up as we go along. I've got one I wanted to sort of like run past you just to get your opinion on this, because it was actually an advertisement. There we go. Look at that for a link.
Ooh.
It was an advertisement that somebody sent me by email.
Unbelievable. I knew that was coming. This is all scripted.
And it was for capillary film.
Oh, that is unbloody believable, because I have got that on my list to ask you.
No way.
Honest to God.
We don't have lists. It's unscripted, remember?
Well, you know what I mean, in my head.
Now, capillary film. I don't think you've ever played with capillary film at all.
No.
Or if you know what it is.
Yeah. There's a specific job that I've been asked to do, and this is why I'm going to bring it up with you. So
there's a couple of different types of capillary film. So the specialist capillary film, which is for the thick stencil, which gives us the 3D raised stuff without using puff, the high density, if you like. That is, it's all the same. It's emulsion that has been spread to a certain thickness and mounted to a carrier sheet and with a protective sheet on front. So we've got an emulsion sandwich, really.
Yeah.
But when we do that, that means we can control the thickness of the emulsion. Super.
Yeah.
Now, me and you have been doing this for so long now that we can control the thickness of emulsion with one eye shut and a fag hanging out of his mouth and just using 3 fingers.
Yeah.
But, for someone who can't do that, then is capillary film now becoming a viable option instead of wet coating?
Depends on price.
What do you think?
Depends on price, doesn't it?
So how much do you think a screen full of capillary film would cost you?
Well, you see, I've only looked at the identity stuff, so I'm comparing price of identity, which
The fat with a P.
Yeah, that's the one. I mean, that's
It's good stuff. I recommend it.
Yeah, because I've got a job that somebody wants doing in identity, and I don't fancy coating a screen manually, coating it over and over until I get the stencil density. I'd rather just go for a film option.
You can do them if you've got a big shop, you've got loads of time. You could control the humidity and you can control the step thickness. But if it's a one-off, screw that.
No.
Put your hand in your pocket, buy a sheet.
Yeah, no.
Or find someone that'll sell you a sheet rather than a roll.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm going to get in touch with you about. But what you're talking about is capillary sheets that are standard thickness, I'm assuming.
Standard 50 microns, yeah. So standard 50 microns, which is, normal sort of screen thickness or around about there. I'm always wary about saying you should do this at 50 microns because somebody's always going to come up and say, well, we do 53.5 and we find it's much better. Okay, well, let's not argue about what flavour crisp is the best. So it made me look into it in that, I deal with a lot of startups. I deal with a lot of people who are starting on the skill journey. And so coating screens is really important to get consistently straight and right and perfect every time to get good results. And usually it's an automatic coating machine that does this. And there may be somewhere between 12 and 15 grand for an automatic coating machine. So I thought, what's the cost of straightforward, normal, bog standard capillary film? So after a little bit of research, I got it to around about £5.50.
That's not too bad.
Most places are charging 20 quid to make a screen.
Yeah.
Between 15 and 20 quid. Now, if we've got a dead on, absolutely, I know I've put £5.50 worth of emulsion on there, and then whatever time and chemicals it takes me to take it off, is it actually an option rather than wet coating? I don't know anybody that does it. It's from the graphic printing industries. It's capillary film where stencil thickness is really, really important.
Yeah, you need accuracy.
As textile printers, where the poor relations out, where the drunken cousins that nobody speaks about, never get invited to family dues. So, and I just wondered if you consider sort of like whether you think about using capillary film Or have you got your coating down to such a knack it's not even a pain in the ass for you?
No, if anything I can do that increases accuracy. I mean, you don't have to worry about stencil thickness. You're going to get it bang on every time. If it increases the detail in me exposures, if it's cost effective, and don't forget you can work it into your prices. You know, if I have to put my screen fees up a fiver to cover the cost, but it increases the
quality.
if it just increases the quality and efficiency, 100%. That sounds spot on to me. I always worry about it because the sheets only stick to one side of a mesh. Is that if I'm right? Whereas if you're coating the screen, you do front and back, don't you? You know what I mean?
Not quite right. I know what you mean. It does stick to one side, but it also bonds to the mesh itself.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just stuck to the surface. You actually do use pressure to put it on there.
Right.
And the capillary means to suck, like capillary veins.
Right.
And to draw in. So it draws in and sucks itself into the mesh.
All right. So it does
using capillary action.
Right. No, that's...
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So what you do is you can either use water or emulsion, and with the high density stuff, I like to use a little pot of emulsion on the inside of the screen, the ink side.
So you coat the inside as if it were normal, and then you apply the capillary film on the back?
There are about 4 different ways of doing it. And again, you have to fit the way, you have to do the way that either you're most comfortable with or that works best for you. So one of the ways is to coat the screen as normal.
Yeah.
And then stick the film on using like a rolling action, like you put in a screen protector on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Another way is to find a flat surface and lay the sheet down, screen on top, squeegee your emulsion into it.
Yeah.
Squeegee. Another way is to use water and get the screen absolutely soaking, and then use that capillary action of just the water to suck it in. And it's really just about finding the way that works best for you. For instance, if you've got an automatic coater, chances are the guy in the screen room's not the best screen coater in the world because he's never had to do it manually.
No.
So therefore, just one layer of emulsion on there and then sticking the screen on, that's the best way for him. If you've got a guy who's been coating since ABBA were successful, then basically, just a small reference to myself. Then basically he's gonna love to coat by hand. If you've got someone that doesn't own a coating trough, then squeegee it on. It all depends on you. I've had good results always.
Yeah, I imagine you get a much more consistent coat. If anything I could do to speak... So I've been lucky enough for the past year or so to have a screen room guy working for me. Up until very recently, where he moved on to something else. And I've been back in that bloody screen room, washing screens and coating screens. So,
when you say screen room guy, do you mean swamp donkey or do you mean stencil technician? Because there's a massive difference. There's a swamp donkey who just cleans your shit for you, and then there's a stencil technician who actually makes the screens and coats everything and exposes them. Which one are you talking about?
Oh, we're definitely a swamp donkey. It's amazing how clean my screens are now. How many pinholes we no longer have now that they're actually getting washed properly.
Oh, because you're doing it now.
Yeah, now that I'm doing it properly.
I quite like screen room. I quite like to disappear into a screen room.
I find it bloody.
It's therapeutic, isn't it? You stick some music on and some headphones on and just disappear.
I don't like it.
Either just cleaning. Oh, don't you?
I tell you, your demons come out in that room. You've got too much time on your hands in here, and you'll start all your anxieties. You just go over it over and over and over. It's awful. Sod that.
Too much time to think.
Yeah, that's
what
it
you say. You got far too much time to you start having a conversation with yourself over the screen.
You bloody do, aye. Anything I can do to get in and out of that screen room quicker, the better.
Oh no, I quite like it, but I think it's a bit of an escape in there as well. So
Yeah.
I quite like the screen room. I don't like cleaning,
No.
as in cleaning somebody else's shit. I don't mind cleaning my own shit, but not somebody else's shit.
Well, you can control your own shit,
Uh,
can't you? Because you don't just rip a screen off at press full of ink and then like start scrubbing it
no,
into the frame and into corners where you can't get it. When you're in control,
no,
you card it out and you get you
yeah.
wipe it off before it even leaves the
Yeah, but
press.
when you're carding it out, you don't push it against all four corners.
No,
You know
no,
what I mean? You card it out to the one that's got the tape on. You don't
yeah,
squish it into every other corner, do you?
no, and you don't get lazy and tell me you've degreased them when you haven't. Either. So yeah, it's very time consuming, isn't it? Screen room.
with Fairy Liquid.
Yeah, we're very liquid, aye.
The screen room is a sort of, it's a staple of the whole thing. If you've got a bad screen room, you're gonna have bad prints. I don't care. You can have a highly skilled operator on the front end of the press, and he can hide loads of shit that the screen room does.
Yeah.
But once you take that skilled operator away, that's when you realise, hang on, these screens are breaking down all the time. Yeah, well, my other guy used to tape them double-sided because he knew I was shit at making screens.
Yeah.
And my other guy used to spot them out with nail varnish because he knew I couldn't fucking see very well because I hadn't had an eye test for the last 5 years. I think it's an integral part. It's got to be a really good part of the screen making process.
It's got to be the most important because it's where it all starts. The quality is dictated by the quality of your screen. I mean,
Yeah.
pushing or pulling.
We never pull. We never pull. You left that there for me. We never pull. I've seen you pulling a little bit, and I sort of like tried to delete those videos off from my social media because they're so offensive. I've reported 3 of them to Instagram, if I'm honest.
I wonder why I keep getting shadow banned.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that and your carpal tunnel squeegee that I've seen you using. We're not even going to go there.
I've got rid of that. I
Have you?
Yeah, well, I've not got rid of it.
Is that from peer pressure? Is
I've
that
just stopped
peer pressure
using it.
from me, or have you just stopped using it?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's I quite like. I can't remember. It's been that long since I used it. I quite liked the feel of it for a little bit, and then do you know what? They're not very. They're a bit flimsy. You end up with your blade sort of like falling out, and you start to get like a curve on blade. And
Just to be clear, this is the two-handled green one with a very thin blade.
yeah, the plasticky one, not the. I think you can get metal ones, which are probably a little bit better for you. But I've just come back to the old.
No, I think they both cause carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yeah, at first I thought it was helping that, but yeah, eventually I realised it won't. Here's something that somebody brought up with me. I'm going on a tangent. You can.
That's what we do.
You can revert me
That's
back
what
if
we
you
do.
like. But so I spent a fortune on the ergo squeegees, the metal squeegee blades holders.
Yeah, they're like a flattened D, if you like,
Yeah.
capital D.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I spent a fortune on them, and
Yeah.
I really like them. I've always liked them, but
Yeah.
I've heard some old school screen printers, and I wouldn't argue with them because the stuff they print is just unreal.
Well, they've inhaled so many fumes you can't argue with them, mate, because they will.
But they, I'm getting there, mate. I'm getting there. They swear by wooden squeegee blades. Wooden squeegee blade handles. Yeah,
Wooden handles.
and you think, well, that's the cheap option, the newbie option, but no, they swear by them. They say the wooden handles are just so much more comfy to print with on your hands and just better overall.
No.
You disagree?
No, and no. They're hard to clean.
They're a pain to clean,
They splinter.
Yeah.
They soak up any liquid you put onto them, and they're the cheap option. They're the starter option.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. If you're just starting out and you want to spend, 3.5 pence or at least £2.50 on a squeegee, then yeah, go for it. But come on, this is the thing that's going to be dictating how good your prints are. Put your hand in your pockets, but buy a proper one, a white clean aluminium one, whether it's flat or whether it's shaped. You can find You get a little bit more pressure on the shaped one that's shaped like a D.
Yeah.
But the other one's not bad either. The flat wooden ones were made to go in the hand bench. The hand bench, the single table.
The little vacuum benches.
Yeah, little vacuum bench tables, and then the aluminium's replaced them because they're easier to clean, but still the same shape. And then somebody went, "Do you know what? We're not using that clamp anymore. Can we make it fit as fingers?" And I quite like the Ergo one. I'm all right with that. I'll let you off with that one.
I'm a fan of them.
I won't call you any names at all.
Well, I feel like we've touched on it a few times now. I feel like we should hash out the pushing argument. And let me give it.
You really chose violence. You chose violence today, really.
Well, I feel like it needs to be done because I don't necessarily think we share the same opinion. However,
no, I've seen you printing. I know you don't.
Well, here's my stance on it, and I'm looking forward to you to argue against it with actual science.
You screwed there.
I think it depends on what ink you're printing. If you're printing water-based, I think you have to pull water-based. From my experience of printing with water-based, the second I tried to push for the ink, it just went tits up. It was just awful. So I think you have to pull with water-based. With Plastisol, I pull, but I feel so much more comfy pushing. I think it's way easier, way better on your wrists and your elbows. But there is one problem that I get with pushing. The bottom of the image. So when I say the bottom of the image, I don't mean the bottom of the screen. I mean any sort of edge throughout the design that is towards, the bottom. It's hard to explain. Underneath, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You almost get the ever so slight ghosting of the image. It's almost like it's splodging at the bottom edges of the image, ever so slightly. But that was just enough to stop me from push printing, and I always, I pull print. If I could eliminate that problem, I'll be honest, I think I would go back to push printing because I think I can print
for the feel of it, for the ergonomic feel of it, the
purely
way you move your body weight.
Yeah. I think I could print double fast push printing. I think I'm a lot slower.
Speed?
Yeah, I'm way slower.
Okay.
I'm a way slower printer when I pull.
I would normally, obviously we have to end this relationship right now. You actually push printing, but it's been nice. I think we did a good run of it. 4 episodes were fine by me.
We've done all right.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I don't push print. I don't. Because like I say...
It's no good going back now. I've seen so many videos. Let me scroll through your Instagram feed.
A lot of years ago, I definitely did. I started push printing, but I adapted.
Well, that's why you find it most comfortable.
It probably is, yeah.
It's because that's how you started. And that's why I find it difficult, because I started pull printing. And it's all back to best flavour. What's the best flavour of crisps? There is no right answer. To go with your science thing, I believe that you get more screen stretch when you are pushing, and your weight, your pressure increases towards the end of the stroke.
Right.
Because you're leaning into it, and I think you don't get a consistent pressure when you push. I think you get a little bit more screen stretch. I think you get a little bit more pressure. And I don't think you can quite control the shear of the ink as much, because you're basically using the squeegee in reverse. It's not designed to be used by that. It's designed to be used the other way. You don't get that bend on the squeegee that you should get.
Yeah.
Because you can't bend the squeegee that way.
No.
Because you are bending it, but you're bending it on a bit that's no longer in contact with the screen. So I, as you can tell, I'm not a push fan. But that doesn't mean I've never pushed a squeegee, And usually when I push a squeegee, it's when I can't be asked to move the screen down. And I know that if I push it just enough to put it into
reg.
I
know exactly what you mean, yeah. Spend ages regging a 6-colour job up and you're like, it's just slightly off. I'm going to push yellow instead of pull.
Oh, I'm going to ask you, I've never asked you, what's the universal smallest measurement you need to move a screen?
Smallest measurement?
So it wants to go left. A tap. So it's got to be a cock hair.
A cat's knacker.
That's a universal measurement in America. You just must say, well, actually, no, it's not. There's another one that I found in Lancaster Print House use it. Bless them. They taught me a really bad word. it, let's say it starts with the same letter and it ends in hair, but it's not the same thing.
It's universal. I'll adopt that one then.
All the way, yeah. I wouldn't do in your shop. Yeah. All the way through, it's not like it wants moving left a little bit. How much? Just a bit. Well, how much? Well, just a cock hair. Well, maybe.
Yeah. I wish, and I imagine autos have this feature. I wish there was, rather than the knob that's just like a free spinning knob where you just do it by hand, I wish it was clicks, to a mil or a fraction of a mil, and it just click, 1 click, 2 click, 3 click. You know what I mean? I imagine autos have probably got that feature.
No, because a click would jump. So the click would have to be such a small measurement that it would either jump in or jump out. It would never be enough.
Yeah, I guess.
You would have to machine something to the smallest measurement I've got is 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.01.
Yeah.
So 0.01 is 100 clicks, 100 presses is a millimetre.
Right.
So it'd have to be exceptionally accurate. And the only thing I've seen anywhere close to it is the digital reg.
Yeah.
On the MHM top of the range Rolls Royce sort of mortgage 2 houses job. Then it becomes a step motor takes over instead of you. So you press the keypad to move the screen. Screen number 6 left 0.1 of a millimetre at the back. And that's the closest I've seen to it. They can do that because it's a physical step motor, rather than a turning knob, as you so eloquently put it.
Well, if you see it on next MHM, I want royalties.
Okay. If I could manufacture it, I mean, but they've all got a sliding scale up to a mil. And the usual standard is 1 full rotation is a millimetre, and the MHMs have got a clicker system so that after 1 full rotation it clicks back to its same point.
Right.
So you can move it 1 full turn, but there aren't 100 of those clicks around 1 rotation. There's just 1 every millimetre.
Yeah.
So that's probably as close as you're going to get is 1 click every millimetre.
A couple of mortgaged houses auto is not as close as I'm ever getting. That is not happening, I don't think, somehow.
You never know. When flipping sweet Danny Boy t-shirts take off,
you
never know. You could be selling them all for 200 quid each with Gildan label ripped out. And
we had
other t-shirt manufacturers aren't available.
I probably won't choose Gildan, but we had. I'm going to cut that bit out. That was a bit nasty.
I would. Yeah.
We had a customer. Now, we didn't actually order, and it was a rapper who has a clothing brand, and this rapper it's like the most, I guess, the most famous rapper in the world. I don't know that much about these things, but I guess he is, and he has a clothing brand.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm going to argue with you.
His clothing brand, I have it on reliable information that they basically use Gildans, and all we do is hoodies, and all they do is they print these simple designs on them, and then they just rough them up, like cut holes in them, like scuff them up and put stretch marks in them and all sorts of crap like that, and then they sell them for like a couple £100. And this bloke, actually, this rapper's brand, actually got in touch with us for a quote for I think we were doing a show in UK, and I guess we were just going around getting quotes off everyone. We never got the order or anything. It's only a slight claim to fame, but it was going back to the old 200 quid t-shirt story. Amazing what you can do with a couple of Gildans with some holes cut into
An
them.
old flip flop.
Yeah.
You know, talking about the holes cut into it, I don't think it's so much a thing now. There was a trend. Me talking about fashion trends. It's ridiculous. There was a trend for like slashed t-shirts.
Yeah.
Unhemmed at the bottom, so they curled up, and slashed like they've been cut by cat claws or something.
Yeah.
And I was always curious. I wonder how they do that. You know, is it a random thing? Is it just what is it? And I happened to go into a factory that was doing it, and I mean, I was sort of like blown away by the simplicity of it. So it was an old guy in his sort of like late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
And he'd got a wooden ruler, you know, like you get at school, them 12-inch rulers.
Yeah.
And into it, he'd pushed 3 Stanley knife blades. And he's flicking the shirt up and hitting it with a ruler, flicking the shirt up, hitting it with a ruler, flicking the shirt up, hitting it with a ruler. And that's how the entire thing was done. And I'm like, that's awesome. So simple. I thought it was such a complicated, maybe a laser process, maybe they built a special machine that does it. No, there's just old Jeff from down the road with his old school ruler and some Stanley knife blades that he found lying around, and he's just whacking the shirts with them randomly to put these cut marks in them. I thought it were ace.
Is he doing 4-day working week?
Do you know, it'd be nice if we did. Oh no, that's a bit, yeah.
Oh, God.
You know what I like about you, don't you? Fuck all.
Oh, God. I've got some of it's bane in my life, if we've got time to touch on it at a minute. And I don't know if it's something you're seeing. Quality control stickers. And I'm talking about you tiny little white square things that say
Little
QC in
stickers.
it with a little number.
Yeah.
I swear to God, every t-shirt I pick up has got at least 6 of them in it.
Yeah, you know, they go to a special school, you know, and they have to learn how exactly where you are going to print.
They
put
do,
at least 3
yeah.
stickers in that area.
I swear to God. It's... I don't know what's going on.
And you know, they really... Once they graduate this school, which obviously, you know, there's a lot of them go, then they get to advanced level. And advanced level is to put them on the inside of the shirt, exactly where you're going to print.
Yeah.
So you can't see it until you see this outline of this either circle. There's a circle one was the old ones, and now they're changing them to square ones now as well. So yeah, it's a gift.
I appreciate it. I appreciate quality control, but I
Do
think
you really though? Do you ever find that sticker and go, what the fuck's wrong with this?
Well, I appreciate that they're taking the time to quality control check the garments. However,
You don't find them on Gildan, do you?
no, you know why? I'm not going to say it. We've already upset Gildan.
Because there's no fucking quality control. That's why.
Flipping hell, I've got some editing to do now, haven't I? Here, we're not making friends in this podcast, are we?
Let me tell you a really quick story, right?
Go on.
Very, very quick story from a while ago. We used to buy shirts from Screen Stars, if you remember Screen Stars, Fruit of the Loom.
Oh, yeah.
And they had grade A seconds.
Right.
So every single one of these had a sticker on. So I'd feel your pain with the sticker because there was something wrong with them all, but it was so minor they were grade A's.
Yeah.
And the value, the price of them was really, really good. Made them really economical to do funnies on the seafront, you know, giveaway shirts. Really good.
Yeah.
With the demise of Screen Stars, they sort of went out of fashion. And then along comes this big firm, Gildan, Canadian firm, sort of like, okay, we're going to now sort of like start flooding the market, the UK market, with these shirts. And they were reasonable quality shirts, so we approached them and went, look, okay, we used to deal with Screen Stars and we'd buy their grade A seconds. How much are your grade A seconds? And they went, we don't know what you mean. Well, you know, your seconds, so the faults, but the grade A faults, they're not, you know, they're not got half a shirt missing off them. They've just got maybe the stitching's not quite right. Maybe the colour shade's a little bit off to your colour code. So you fault them and then they go into the seconds box and we buy those. I'm sorry, but Gildan don't have any seconds at all. Well, you know, you can't go through all that process. You're making like millions and millions of shirts. There must be some seconds. No, not one. And I thought, well, that's fantastic. Their shirts must be so good that they don't have any damages whatsoever. And then I started using them. And I realised what they meant.
Nah, they just send the buggers out, that's why.
It meant they don't go through that process at all. Yeah.
No, there's a couple of brands that I tend to avoid just for that exact reason. And
yeah.
So, like I say, I am happy that they are quality control checking the garments. I just wish someone at the end of the chain would quality control the number of fucking quality control stickers in the garment. Like, just rip them out at the end or something.
They're supposed to put one everywhere they find a fault. So if there's like 3 blobs of red ink on something, they'll put 3 stickers on, not one big one in the middle.
Well, I thought it was more, yeah, we've checked these. Here's a sticker. It's all good to go.
Oh, you mean the QC's okay sticker?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and why
they were in the box? I thought they were little non-stickers. They were just little bits of paper in the box.
Well, but bloody stick to these shirts, I tell you. Can't get the buggers off. But, and why? And if it's been quality control checked and you put one sticker on, what's the other 6 doing? How many times are you checking it?
They're checking the QC people, and the QC people are checking the quality of the sticker of the QC people.
Yeah.
So yeah, by the time they're done, you've got the best QC sticker in the world because it's been checked by 5 other people.
I like it when you get a shirt with an hole in it, and they put a little sticker with an arrow pointed to it, and you're just like, cheers, mate. Thanks.
This one that you've paid top price for, this one's shit, and it's shit because of this here, look. It's nice that they highlight it, isn't it?
Yeah. Some don't even bother. It's a question, only a brief question. It's impossible to check every shirt, isn't it? So...
Is it?
I would say, yeah, to an extent. I mean, obviously, as you're loading the shirts, you'll spot things every now and again. But you're not going to pick a shirt up and turn it back and front.
If there's no back print on it, you're not going to look at the back.
No,
simple as.
So sometimes you'll get a shirt. A customer come back and say, "Oh, this shirt had an hole in the armpit or whatever."
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you replace it? Do you refund it, or do you say, "Look, it's not our fault. We can't possibly check every shirt."
No, you can't pass it down the line. You've got to take it on the chin, unfortunately.
You do, don't you?
If you catch it before it's decorated, all of the shirt suppliers will credit you for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. You don't get any arguments.
None of them will quibble. The problem comes when it's decorated. Once it's decorated, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So
it's just part of the process, isn't it?
It is. You're going to accept a certain percentage.
Yeah.
When I were doing sort of like really big runs, that percentage was as high as 3%.
Yeah.
When we're doing smaller runs, it's down in the 0.5%.
Yeah.
But there was we're almost in a destructive process. This manufacturing that we do, it's destructive. Once we put something on it, it's destroyed. There's nothing we can do about it.
No.
We can't remove it as much as we try. So we basically, we're going to have to accept that not all of them are going to be 100% perfect.
Yeah.
But we go back to that commercially acceptable level of crap ones.
Yeah. It's going to happen. It's a numbers game. The more you print, every now and again, someone's going to crop.
More colours. Yeah, the more colours, the more you do, the more likelihood there is of something fucking up. And if you don't pray to the squeegee gods, obviously, pay your dues to the ink deities, then your day's not going to be good.
What you got to do with that? The trick with that is to spot gun the image, bleach dye them, and stick Metallica logo on them.
And Sharpie out where it's gone, it doesn't quite fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definite. One last one for you.
Go on then.
Base or no base?
Always. Well, should I say always? I mean, if you're putting onto light coloured garments, you don't need a base. I assume we're talking about underbasing colours.
Underbasing colours. So, I've seen quite a big instance lately of
print flash print
colours not being print flash print with the same colour.
Nah.
So, red print, red flash, red.
No, it looks shit. Stop it.
Some of the.
You're not a real screen printer. That's what you're doing.
You normally leave these traps for me. I seem to have stumbled on one for you. God, I wish I'd have known. I'd have milked it to death. Some of the inks are marketed as no need for a base.
Yeah.
One stroke, one hit, maximum opacity. All these inks are marketed to be don't need a base with this. And I do see a lot of people. I'm talking on a run of 12 pieces. Yeah, somebody's come in, they want 12 pieces with Metallica on the front. Or Batman. Batman's a perfect one. It's yellow on a black shirt.
Yeah.
So, do you make a base, or do you just keep printing the yellow until it looks good?
No, you make the base. That's just cheating, and it looks shit. It just looks crap. Don't do it. I can't really add more to that. That's all. That's as simple as it is.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. You are of course correct. But I keep seeing loads of people, and so it's made me question myself.
No,
because they print it really quickly. I mean, really quickly. It's just on and off, quicker than I could make a base screen and line it up.
Yeah, but it looks shit. It's just. If that's the quality you want to put out, then not it's an out, but it just looks crap, and it's thick and it's heavy, and it's not as good as it should look, or could look. Just put a nice white base down, get a good reg with your top colour, and it'll look mint, and it won't be thick and heavy, and it'll. Yeah.
Good answer. And the correct one as well.
A star. Woo.
Ooh, yeah, A star. Yeah.
The pupils.
I laid a trap for you, and you still came out winning. Can't believe it.
You've got to get a win one day, haven't I?
I know, yeah, you did well though. Right at the end, you worked right till the end. Right, I think on that note, I think we're just about done, aren't we, Dan?
I think so. There's a couple to tick off
that
the
has
old
been
mental list.
Episode 4
Episode 4
of Chippy Tee. It's been fantastic with me, Tony Palmer, and
Danny. Oh, that will way quicker this time.
Oh, we're getting slick at that, aren't we? Oh, we're like almost professional. We'll get this sound sorted out.
I know. Well, hopefully you're not recording in a shipping container this time.
Shouting, stood on 3 pallets, shouting at me microphone. No, I think we've done it now.
Well, I've had never such a lovely time.
I know, it's been good, yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on all the popular formats, which are Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's not bullshit them. YouTube and Spotify, because I'm not so start with others. iTunes might be coming pretty soon. I've got an eye on that one.
You teased me right at the beginning with RSS.
Yeah, and then I got sidetracked.
Yeah, that failed. Yeah.
I'll work it out eventually. It'll all come.
So, catch us on YouTube and Spotify every week, Friday night. It's Chippy Tee night.